the Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited. Shalom, shalom. Come on in.
I was lost, but now I'm found.
Blessings to my brothers and sisters.
I'm
Come
a
on
child
in.
of Israel. I heard the sound. Hear the sound. Please give me the strength to stand today. With my eyes towards the east, show me the way to Zion.
Zion.
I'm on my knees, laying my life on the line. I'm begging, please.
Life on the line.
Please don't let me fall. Give me the strength. Place my feet, Lord, guide my path. Show me the way
Zion.
to Zion.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. I'm Elder Ricocciar of the Gathering of Christ Church here live with Elder Lawyer. He's back. All praises be to the Most High. Elder Lawyer is back. And we're going into a lesson today, closing the door to the dark side. All praises be to the Almighty for another Sabbath. It's a blessing coming before you. Okay, I would be amiss if I didn't let you know that we will begin the new Hebrew and Bible Academy tomorrow early. We're going to start around 8:30 for the announcements, and then the classes will commence. The class, the creation of the universe, and we're going to show you portals. Why is NASA, Israel's space army, which they call it Space Force, and American Space Force? Why are they hurrying with this technology to get out into the stratosphere? You're going to realize that they've already got the technology to open portals for the final battle of Armageddon. And we're going to go into how these portals were created in the beginning. Why? Well, eventually, the Most High had it where what's up there would come down here. From the beginning, judgment was made that the heavens above would come down into the face of the deep. And we're going to examine this. They have lied to us all, brothers and sisters. They made us believe that the earth was created through this big bang, and everything we see, the glory of the Almighty through His creation, was made out of nothing. Well, we're going to dispel all these satanic scientific myths tomorrow in our lesson, The Creation of the Universe, and I hope you all can join us. Go to historytimes.org to enroll. Shalom. How you doing, Elder Lawyer?
Shalom, sir. I'm doing very well. Shalom to the family as well. Shabbat shalom to the family. I'm glad to be back.
All praises be to the Most High. I'm glad you're back. And I didn't want you traveling after just getting in from yesterday, still getting your bearings together through the flight. I mean, how many hours did you, was your flight altogether?
Okay, so yeah, the way back from let me take it from here. From Zimbabwe to Johannesburg, that's about an hour and a half, just under 2 hours. And then from Johannesburg to Newark, that's about 16 and a half hours.
And then you had to go from Newark back home.
Which is about another hour. And that's not to add the fact that on the Johannesburg side, they had us sitting on the plane on the tarmac for maybe 2.5 hours before they took off. So it was a long, arduous journey, both there and back. But all praise be to the Most High. I did enjoy myself once I got to the destination. And all praise be to the Most High that I made it back along with the family safely. So can't complain about that.
Well, I know the angels were on those wings, brother, and thank the Most High to have you back starting tomorrow for the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Let me ask you, the people, the family, how are they doing over there? The people, the family, Zimbabwe, those who praise the Most High and understand this truth, how are they doing?
The family is doing well. I had an opportunity to spend some quality time with the family, a few people from the church family, but mainly, close relatives, close family members who are there. And also I want to send out a shout out and some love to the family also over in South Africa. We also had the opportunity to meet up with a few of those members and spend some quality time with them. So they're all doing well. Praises be to the Most High.
All praises be to the Most High. And yes. Let's go into it.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Let's go into it, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me go here real quick. 1 second. Let's go here real quick. Yes. Bring you in here. Let's go in. Yes, sir. And on top of that, let's do this. Yes. Here we go. I'm excited about tomorrow, brother. Tomorrow begins our new academy. I'm excited about it. I can't wait for tomorrow, actually, where we'll be diving into a brand new theme for this academy.
Gone.
The theme, let me put it up here and center it for all to see. The theme, the fall of the last empire. You see the Rome, see the fire burning behind Rome, and in the silhouette of it all is a Statue of Liberty. Boy, do we have some lessons in store for our brothers and sisters. I'll tell you, the election outcomes, war in the Middle East, hurricanes, earthquakes, the fact that there will be a truck driver strike leading to a famine. Is World War III impending? How will that impact all of us? We're going to talk about that, getting through Jacob's trouble. The final path to the mark. That's where our church began, with the path to the mark, traveling throughout the whole United States, letting them know that there's a satanic plan to mark and chip everyone, change the commerce, and to track all people on earth under a new world order. And now we're here. It so happens Elon Musk, who no one knew about in 2009, Elder Lawyer, is a key component into what the Most High showed us near 2007 and 2008 to bring this whole thing together. And I'm so glad the Most High have given us the power through understanding to help so many of our people understand. Let me get that bug out of here. To understand, and through that time, Elder, we have pulled many people out of the matrix through baptism.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So really, it has always been a proxy war against our people, but they try to play dumb and make it seem like it's everything else without stating the obvious, that they're really directly through their governmental conspiracies are focusing on destroying the lost tribes of Israel. And I'm so glad we have this truth so that we can bring everything into perspective, right? And that's what we're going to do with this path to the mark, and let everyone know that it's really about them destroying God's people, right? And they need the technology to identify everyone's genome, bioweapons, and others to make sure that not one of us are left through Satan's plan. And I'm going to be going into that, folks. Now, of course, they're scorching the earth and they're seeking to destroy everyone who believe in Christ. But there is a physical people they have always been after and always attempted to keep under check. And we're going to go into that. The path to the mark, the return of the hidden gods, the fall of America, which is the fall of the last empire. I hope to see you all there tomorrow. One moment. One moment, Elder Lawyer, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jumping right in, brothers and sisters, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. So again, go to historytimes.org to enroll, and it starts 9 in the morning. All right. The proceeds help the work. It helped fund the elders who are doing the work to finish bringing forth this kingdom, okay? So please come through these classes. There's no classes like this on earth. Historytimes.org. Now, Elder Lawyer, you know I didn't get an opportunity to talk to you about the outcome of this so-called election, right? And how many people are going bat crap out of their minds now that Trump is in position. Now, we all know that either side is under the same dark power, right? Democrat or Republicans. But the politicians aside, Trump and Kamala, the East Indian, aside, what I am in general, I'm proud of our people through this whole process. And when I say I'm proud of our people, I'm not talking about the ones who voted. See? I'm talking about, Elder Lawyer, the ones who didn't.
Gone.
Because really, that's the conversation mainstream media isn't having. The Democrats, whom our people usually choose at almost 100% clip, well, many of us didn't vote at all, and that's the true reason the Democrats lost. But the mainstream don't want to talk about this because they don't want to let us know how important we are in keeping this so-called democracy going. And what happens when the children of Israel bow out. When Judah bows out altogether, we take our spirit with us. See? We take our spirit with us. So without our spirit, the Democrats cannot fly. You can't cobble together a constituency through gays, minorities, people of color, white women, and cobble them into a strong constituency that would oppose the other side. So what was holding that party up the whole time? We were. So when you pull us out, you see that there's no power with LBGTQ. It was the power they get through our voting bloc. There's no power through these crazed white liberals because there's not enough of them to make a constituency to oppose the other side. I just hope our people understand through this process our true power. This thing doesn't work without us.
Right.
See? And that's why I'm proud of our people. Because MSNBC, neither Fox will tell the full story. They'll talk about the people who voted. Oh, yeah, a lot of black men voted. But what they are ignoring is it was those who chose to stay home and are not participating at all. And they don't want people to know that. See, they don't want people to know that because why? If people decide not to deal with the process, this whole thing crumbles. So I'm proud of our people stepping away because you would have thought that they would have appreciated the main voting bloc that made Democrats a power political party. They use our vote and just cast us to the side and give it to everyone else. Gays, Israel, Ukraine. And without us, there is no Democrat Party. So I'm proud of our brothers and sisters who sent a serious message. We see now. We're not going back. Now.
That's right.
Now, we're going into a lesson today. Now, before we do that, real quick, Elder Lawyer, if you will, let's do the Hebrew Credo.
Yes, sir. Shema Yasha'Allah Ahaya Allahayanawa Ahaya Achad.
Shema Yasha'Allah Ahaya Allahayanawa Ahaya Achad.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one.
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one God. Now, Elder Lawyer, let's go in.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
This is why I'm glad. A lot of people don't understand why I'm so happy the Democrats lost. This have nothing to do with the other side. But look what they tried to align with our people. I don't want these white liberals talking about they here to protect the racism against blacks and all these others. We don't want your protection. We don't want you trying to lump us up with you. Stop trying to say, well, we against the racism and all that. Nah. Keep our people out of this. We can protect ourselves. Because you only use us to politically grandize and benefit your selfishness. You're only using our voting for you. Let me show you this, Elder Lawyer. That's why I titled this, Closing the Door to the Dark Side. Check this out. On the screen. Look at these nut jobs. These were the people they attempted to lump us with. And guess what? This election showed so much of what's the mindset behind the people who they have aligned with the children of Israel. Look at this. This nonsense. This is from a developing story, the Toronto Star in Canada. These witches, Elder Lawyer, are trying to use their power to defeat Donald Trump.
Wow.
Now, I did some research on this. I was going to talk about this Wednesday, but I'm going to let you know what we're going into next Wednesday a little later. These witches and a gay warlock in the middle there came together, went online, and attempt to have all witches and warlocks everywhere to come together to cast a curse on Donald Trump. Right? So listen, we're not for Trump, but we are against witchcraft. So what is it about Donald Trump that threaten witches and warlocks? Now listen to this. Meanwhile, charismatic Christians gather and pray for Trump, likened by a movement leader to the biblical King Cyrus. Right? Now, we're not with the other side either. These modern day Christians are pagans. But all in all, as you can see, even these witches and warlocks understand that there's a spiritual battle going on. Why would they come together in a time like this to pray through a dark craft against the president-elect? What is it about Trump that threatens them? Well, listen, and I'm going to be going over this next week. Politically, we're going to see if it's going to happen. Politically, he's trying to get these witches and warlocks out of our schools. They're coming in under the guise of minority or the oppressed, marginalized people. They're coming in under the guise of LGBTQ, but really they have what? They have a constant agenda that they're trying to do, and it's intentional. They know their plans and what to do when they get in the schools where our children are learning. It's no coincidence the outcome of what? Listen to this. There's no coincidence, brothers and sisters, that the boys are reading in less a third or fourth grade level in our community. That's no coincidence. There's no coincidence that our children are fighting back, and now when they fight back, understanding how they're being treated, they're being gaslighted by these same satanic people who would lie to the parents to have us frustrated with school. And no sooner as we come into the school and try to find out what's going on with our children, they try to play as if our children have a discipline problem when our children know when they're being treated wrong. Our children know when they're treated wrong. And now our children, what happens? The parents aren't on their side. The teachers are attacking them and teaching them lies. And now we do have an attitude problem. that can confirm what these witches and warlocks wanted the parents to believe. And then they go and get our children on the Ritalin and all this other stuff that messed up their brain for the rest of their lives. And they're doing this intentionally. Come to find out, there was one school, Elder Lawyer, where every day the little boy, the teacher was trying to was dressing up the little boy in a dress every day without the family knowing.
Wow.
We don't understand the level of darkness we're up against. And it's a targeted agenda. They can't, and guess what? I'm going to tell you, when they try to do this stuff in white areas, let me tell you, you have white people lining up, PTA meetings and all that. You see it online and all that, where they're fighting against the school administration, the superintendent, and everything, and they get that thing turned almost immediately when they try to sneak that crap in their schools. But not in our communities. So listen, this lets you know the level of darkness we're up against. These witches are trying to use their power to defeat Donald Trump. And now you wonder why they were crying and they're so upset and crazed. Folks, these people that are out there crying and all that, let me tell you, they're filled with demonic energy. They've been possessed. You got a lot of women out here crying that they're not going to have the opportunity, and they're lamenting the fact that they're not going to have the opportunity to kill their children. I need y'all to think about this. Then they're saying, well, this guy is bad. He's racist. He's this, that, and the other. Okay, he's all that. But you're the one who's crying because you believe you're not going to have the right to get rid of your child. What makes him worse? Or do you need that blood of Moloch to feed that demonic spirit? That's what the witches aren't telling you. Is the power that they draw from this through deception. They want the power. Folks, y'all got to understand what feminism is. And I'm speaking of why, Elder Lawyer, why these white liberals, these white women are so upset. A lot of them are witches. And because they don't have the same power as men physically, their power comes, they put men under their power through the craft and deceit. And they need this abortion thing. I'm going to tell you why. Listen to me clearly. It tells us in the book of Reuben, in the 12 patriarchs, that because when women, because they don't have the power of men, evil women utilize their outward wiles, which is their body, to put men under subjection. That's what Reuben understood. They use the makeup and all of that to put men in a spell. Now, why do they need abortion? Moloch sacrifice. That's what it is. Well, you have to understand the power is through their sex. Listen to me clearly. That's why a lot of these white women are upset. If there's a man that they're looking to capture, but they know that man wouldn't normally commit to them. See? If all things were even and she was honest, she knew these women would know that this man wouldn't marry them. So they use the power to get pregnant. These witches lie. They'll say, listen, we can do it, this, that, and the other. I'm on the pill. Only to take in the man's essence as a form of controlling the man that she wouldn't be able to control otherwise. That's witchcraft and deceit, because now she have the baby. You're going to be with me whether you want to or not. See? No one discussed that part of the craft, but Reuben breaks it down. The mind of some of these women, not all, but women will get with a man who they know really don't want to be with them, but if you can take their essence, they're under your power. That's witchcraft. That's witchcraft. Now you have full control over this man. Or the other way. If you want to crush a man who you didn't want to be with, but end up slipping and getting pregnant, you now have the power to take away his future prodigy, his seed. And you can legally get rid of someone's prodigy, his future, his son. That's power. Folks, that's what they're not telling you. The true reason they're crying is because without this, they feel powerless. Where they won't have the lane backed by the government to deceive and put men under their foot. See, a lot of you thought, okay, it don't make sense what's going on with these women. Folks, guess what? They're reading the tea leaves. They understand clearly what all of this means. That their power to manipulate can now get interfered. These are witches, folks. Now, how do we know they're witches? We're going into closing the dark side. And this is why, let me tell you, hence the reason, Elder Lawyer, hence the reason you notice the witches, warlocks, the Hindus and all that, even the Muslims, there's only one book they concentrate on getting out of the way throughout all of this. That's the Bible.
That's right.
Because only the Bible can identify the Gentiles, the Satanist, true intent against us. They say, get that Bible out of the way. We don't deal with every time we come with the Bible, they try to claim, oh, we don't deal with religion. Witchcraft is a religion.
That's right.
Hoodoo is a religion. Hindu is a religion. Islam is a religion. So that means the only religion you so-called try to stifle in conversation is that belief that's attached to the Bible. So don't tell me you don't deal with religion. You just want us to put the only protection we have, our defense, which is the Bible, to the side. And that's their greatest weapon. I can show you the whole Democrat Party from Leviticus 18. Everything that we see that these witches feed off of is what God told us not to do. And they made a whole party out of it. So now we're going to understand why God, when our people came out of Egypt, gave us law. It's the law between the righteous side against the dark side. Elder Lawyer, if you will,
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Leviticus 18. Let's go to Leviticus 18. And we're going to start at the first verse. Folks, you're going to see everything we read in Leviticus 18 is what they try to lump our people with, which became the crazed Democrat Party. It's used to keep the children of Israel under subjection through sin. Let's read it. Elder Lawyer, let's read Leviticus 18 and 1. Let's read it.
Yes, sir. Leviticus chapter 18, verse number 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances.
Neither shall you walk in their ordinances. Folks, because believe it or not, folks, all of what the Most High is forbidding us to do was codified in law with the Egyptians. Everything the Most High is about to show us, the high rungs of power and the high class that made the Egyptian power was into these things. He says, don't walk after their ordinances. See? They could do these things and it was widely accepted amongst the Egyptians. Let's read.
Yes, sir. Verse number 4. Ye shall do my judgments and keep mine ordinances to walk therein. I'm the Lord your God.
I'm giving you ordinances, moral laws to live by, opposed to what you witnessed in Egypt. Read.
5. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I'm the Lord.
I'm the Lord. You do these, you live in the light. You live in the light. Read.
6. None of you shall approach to any that is near to kin of him, to uncover their nakedness. I'm the Lord.
Sleeping with your family members. Okay? Incest and all these others. The Egyptians were doing this. That's accepted with the Egyptians. Inordinate sexual behavior. And why did the Most High say stay away from this? It opens up a dark side. Read.
Yes, sir. Verse
7.
number 7. The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother shalt thou not uncover.
Shalt thou not uncover. They just showed not too long ago. And it's a shame that our people have fallen into this mess. A grown woman, not too long ago, I seen this last week, sleeping with her teenage son. See? All of this is separated amongst this crazed party. Read.
Verse number 8.
She is
the
thy
nakedness
mother.
of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover.
She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Speaking of a boy dealing with his mother. The Egyptians were doing this mess. Read.
8. The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness.
Sleeping with the father's wife. See? You can have some people who what? Where the mother no longer lives, or something happened and the father has a new wife, and then the son and the wife, his father's wife, end up hooking up. Man, think about this, folks. Matter of fact, this sounds, Elder Lawyer, almost like one of those crazed web sites that are out. Something Star Hip Hop. What's the name of this thing?
World Star Hip Hop.
World Star Hip Hop. This is the stuff you would hear there.
Mm-hmm. If you want to take it back in the day, this sounds like a Jerry Springer episode.
Yes, a Jerry Springer episode. And folks, everything I'm letting you know outwardly is agreed upon under what they've aligned our people with. Now, witches and witch covens and all that, they are about this. They are about this because they tap into the dark side for power against their enemies. So they have to do all these. You wonder why P. Diddy and all these had these weird, what they called freak-offs and all this other stuff. What they're not telling you is the opening up of dark doors to have power aimed towards destroying those who believe in God and Christ. That's what it's truly about. Empowering themselves with the intent of destroying the light. 9.
Yes, sir. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home or born abroad, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover.
Incest. Read.
10. The nakedness of thy son's daughter.
Now check this out, Elder Lawyer. What are they saying the reason why abortion should be a thing? Well, they always bring the extremes. Well, suppose someone's raped, and suppose someone is having a child through incest. Well, what are we doing to get in front of people not dealing in incest?
Mm-hmm.
See? Are we telling them it's against God? So now it's a double sin. Well, because of incest, we're going to now take the blood of the child to empower us more into the dark forces.
Mm.
So you notice they use that incest all the time as if what they're not telling you, that's part of their ritual. Because amongst our people, that's a no-no. You can say what you want about our people. Brothers and sisters type thing, even though we can point out some anomalies like I said, showed you last week, which is nasty about this woman with her son. That's not the norm amongst us, folks. But you hear these white liberals keep saying, well, suppose she's pregnant through incest. Oh, hold up. Move the needle off the record. Move the needle off of the record. Scratch it off. No one asked. No one tend to ask, what incest? What incest? Who's running around sleeping with their sons and daughters? Are y'all talking about in these witch covens? That's all around the United States that pumps out your nurses and your school teachers and come into our neighborhoods to teach our children? You talking about your people? Because incest is against our God. And this is why I don't understand how Christians who believe in God could back a known dark side, a party that's overt against God. More.
Yes, sir. Verse number 11.
Verse number 11.
10. Yes, sir. Picking up from verse 10, the nakedness of thy son's daughter, or the nakedness or of thy daughter's daughter, even their nakedness shalt thou not uncover, for theirs is thine own nakedness.
Read.
11. The nakedness of thy father's wife's daughter, begotten of thy father, she is thy sister. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness.
Brothers and sisters are a no-no. And you notice, folks, with these letters, they continually expand these letters to whatever group or group of people who are seeking to deal with what? Perversions, perverted acts of sexual activity against the standard God intended. It's an anti-God, anti-Christ party. Straight out. 12.
Verse 12. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's sister. She is thy father's near kinswoman.
The aunt.
Thou shalt
Read.
Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy mother's sister, for she is thy mother's near kinswoman.
Look at your aunt. Read.
Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy father's brother. Thou shalt not approach to his wife. She is thine aunt.
Read. Your father's brother. Speaking of someone dealing with their father's brother, which is the aunt. Read.
Yes, sir. Verse number 15. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy daughter-in-law. She is thy son's wife. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness.
Read.
Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of thy brother's wife. It is thy brother's nakedness.
Read on.
Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. Neither shalt thou take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover their nakedness, for they are her near kinswoman.
Read.
It is wickedness.
It is wickedness. Look what they've allowed to fester amongst our people now. Since what they would call, since what they would call sexual liberation have become the political or the status quo amongst those in America now. Think about this. When they talk about when they talk about the sexual revolution, folks, this is what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Being free to deal with whomever you would like.
That's right.
Read.
Verse number 18. Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister, to vex her, to uncover her nakedness, beside the other in her lifetime.
And folks, we see this happening due to what? When people feel scorned or hurt. And guess what? There's no shame about it now, Elder Lawyer. I've seen it online where, okay, you did this to me, and a guy go deal with the girl's sister, his girlfriend or his wife's sister, and vice versa.
Right.
I seen a girl online bragging that she dealt after getting hurt by the man she was with and went and dealt with the brother's father. Now you see why people don't want to read or just discard the Bible at all? Because if you don't read it, you feel you're not accountable to it. Even though in your conscience, you know it's wrong. But if God didn't tell me, see, they can feign ignorance. They can feign ignorance if they didn't read it from the Word of God. That's why they discard the book altogether, because no one wants to be accountable. 19. Hit the like button for me, folks. Let's read it.
Yes, sir. Verse 19. Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness.
Put apart for her uncleanness, and we know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
A woman's monthly. Read.
20. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife, to defile thyself with her.
Sleeping with the neighbor. Man, does this sound like America or what? Read.
21. And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech.
Pass through the fire to what, elder lawyer?
To Molech.
To Moloch. Hold up. I'm going to show you what we're really dealing with. I'm going to show you what we're really dealing with here. One second. We're bringing this all the way together for you all to understand why so many women are upset and crying about them losing their rights. Claiming they're losing their rights because Trump is in power. Look at this here. When I told y'all about the witch coven, 125,000 people got together in Chicago in 1933. And what did they do? Fair use. For educational purposes only. This is what they did. Moloch, the god Satan, the horn god, whom Edom worshiped while he was in Mount Seir. The Canaanite god requires what? Now, if you do all these inordinate activities that God said that God forbid, it brings forth unwanted children. See? And this is why they were promoting this in Egypt, and God said, don't do it. Because the unwanted children can now be given over for the blood sacrifice that opens up dark doors for the elite. Is this coming together for you? You bring children in the earth through a shameful relationship, then you can easily discard them, and guess who'll accept the blood of that child? Moloch. That's the system that no one is telling you existed since ancient times. They've just cleaned it up a little bit and normalized it. Because nobody, if you got a nuclear family, father and mother, blessed family that pray together, is going to allow you to do anything to their child. But if you can have a child that's produced through some of these activities, then that child can easily be accepted by the priesthood of Moloch. That's how it works. You see why they promote this stuff amongst us now? Because it gives you what? Plausible deniability. You have a child you wasn't supposed to have based on some of these negative activities, and now you can get rid of this child without conscience. Now you see why these white women and all these are crying right now? It's getting exposed. Hit the like button. 1933. Here's your crazed white liberals that are teaching your children and that are advising you and counseling you and are tricking you in the schools to give your children up to them. Hold up. Let me show you here. So you can see the whole thing. It says here, mock child sacrifice to Moloch in 1933 World's Fair. A woman takes a mock child, throw it into the lap of Moloch. And what they used to do in ancient times, burn the child. Folks, these are the people that have been politically put over our community. Now, it also go into the religion of these people who are behind these secret sacrifices to the dark side. Christ identified them as the synagogue of Satan. And what they do politically is deceive our people to have us give our children up for sacrifice in fear that one of your children will one day rise like Moses or Egypt to oppose their God. Like Moses in Egypt and Christ during the Roman time. So they come into our neighborhoods like white liberals. Really, they're intentional with their purpose to hurt and destroy us. And they'll come in as what? Sympathizers and saviors, when really their target are your children. Let's go back, Elder Lawyer, if you will.
Yes, sir.
And it says 21, let's read that.
And thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech.
Pass to the fire through Moloch. What is that today? Abortion. That's a ritual. Getting rid of unwanted children to the god Moloch, which empowers the people, the witches and warlocks who have convinced you to do that. You have given the power of life and death over to Satan's overlords. See? You understand? This is why I'm so happy that a lot of our people, the real people who influenced this election, are those who didn't vote at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're weighing this in the balance. The concerns they claim they have about another man from a different party, the negatives of this person pales in comparison to the death that's promoted within the Democrat Party. It's hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy. Talking about we're going to lose our rights. What? The right to do what? To use deceit? To use children as power to control men? Huh? The family courts, all of this stuff is filled with these same people, folks. And thou shalt not let thy seed pass through the fire to what? To Moloch. Neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Now let's examine this. They're everywhere. They put these people in the family courts and all that and say, nah, we don't care what the circumstances are. Move the father out of the way. We want that child with the mother. We don't want any discipline on this child. We want this child to cut loose all around with no discipline, and that child will belong to Moloch.
Mm-hmm.
And these judges, They know the child would be in better case under a disciplined father. But they'll always move the child to be exposed to danger. That's a sacrifice to Moloch. And this is what they didn't tell you. Feminism, they just named it feminism, folks. Feminism, when you look at the practice of feminism, these were the original, when it comes to the sense of the word for witches. Well, that's encompassed within what we call feminism.
Right.
Do your research. They legalized and pushed a political agenda to have people empowered or emboldened to become witches. That's what feminism is. Now, so here's the problem. The problem is, and I'm going to go back to these scriptures in a moment. The problem is, white men empowered white women to keep us in check. See? There was never an intent for white women to leave the farm altogether, not realizing their true place. That you really don't have any power. White women only have the power white men gave them. And this is what they fear with Trump. White women really don't have any power. But they left the farm, not realizing their place. And now, when they put Moloch into our neighborhoods, they were intended to control the population of our children, of our people not multiplying. Now, their birth rates are down. White men is like, well, hold up. We wanted you to go into the neighborhoods and twist them up. You're not supposed to stop having our children. See how this works? You see how this works? So white men who gave you the power to control us in our neighborhoods, to become these crazed nurses and teachers that would mess our children's brains up, that was your job. Your job was to influence black women to get rid of their children. You were not supposed to get rid of the white man's children. That wasn't the plan. So now the same white man who gave you that power is taking it back. Because you don't really have power. How do you know you really don't have power? There's no such thing as white woman power or black woman power. You know how you know you don't have any power? Because the power was given to you. The person who gives the power have the power. See that? They just make you believe you're powerful. You don't have any power. White women have the power white men gave to them. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Now, white men are saying our birth rates are down. So we gotta slow this up. So that takes away the power. If they can't get rid of their children, these women, now that takes away their power to deceive. See? Or to trap people and all these others. Now men are going to see, well, hold up now. Even men, white men or black men, whoever into that in the world, are going to look at this and say, well, hold up. Because I don't really want to be with you. If you get pregnant, I don't want that child. So I tell you what, I'm not going to deal with you altogether. Okay? See? It makes it where the world will be forced to deal with relationships right. See?
Mm-hmm.
It makes it where you can't callously have sex without accountability and or responsibility, and they don't want that.
Right.
So, Elder Lawyer, I had to look into it. I'm like, man, why is this abortion so important? For the life of me, I couldn't understand why they were crying and so upset, and then it clicked in my mind. Folks, these are witches. Okay? They can only win in a dark world through deceit. And abortion and the power to have children and control a person with it is part of their craft. It's part of their craft because without it, they feel powerless. I can't make this man do anything I want him to do. But if I got that child, I got him. That's witchcraft. Now, if he don't go the way I want, I'll make his life a living hell. That's a witch. So then, of course, the dark side of this need assistance. They can't do it by themselves. They need people outside of them who would help them with this cause. And that's where Leviticus 18 come into light. So what we have here so far on the dark side. Well, this is what we have. This is what we have thus far. We have people who would just have sex with anybody, incest, all types of mess, and then part of it is the child that comes from these behaviors that no one wants, they get aborted. All of it is in Leviticus 18. See? Okay, I don't want this child. Okay, give it to the Moloch priest. Either the Moloch priest will raise the child as an orphan to replenish the priesthood, the priests and the priestesses in the temple that may die off. So they'll raise some of them like in a convent, like you see with your nuns and all that, and your priests in the Catholic Church. So some of them will be raised as orphans in a convent, but others will be Moloch sacrificed. That opens up the door of darkness that gives information to the high priest. That's how it works, folks. Satan requires a blood sacrifice for information. And that's a part of the priesthood they're not telling you. It was in Leviticus 18 the whole time. Nora Wilson said she never saw these scriptures in the Bible. Isn't that something, Nora? She said, I never saw these scriptures in the Bible. Now you have to ask the question, why your preacher didn't tell you? They're lying and telling you the law is done away with. They don't want you to see this because what? The dark side have no power over you when you understand its origin. So they'll tell you, don't worry about the Old Testament. Don't worry about that old stuff. Just accept Jesus as Lord. 22. Let's read it, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. If I can mention this very quickly.
Yes, sir.
I can almost guarantee the same pastor who didn't teach her these scriptures was probably most likely the same type of pastor that would tell her to go and align herself politically with a party that promotes all of these degenerate lifestyles and activities that are presented in Leviticus 18.
Look at that. The same pastor who didn't tell her this was in the Bible would say, would scorn her if she claimed she wasn't a Democrat. See this? So really in the Christian churches, folks, what we have are pagan priests of Moloch. If they're telling you to vote Democrat, they're telling you that they agree with the child sacrifice. They are priests of Moloch.
Right.
My friend, I grew up with Lewis Nash, who have a church in North Philadelphia, who ran for politics, and I told him back then that it's futile and it's ridiculous. You can't serve two masters. How can you be a politician and a pastor? Yet I digress. He said it was this Jewish guy that's really over the black politicians over in the inner cities who told him that the only way that he'll be back politically for city council, he would have to agree with the trans children bill that they're trying to pass in North Philadelphia. And he said the guy told him right out, either we rather have you as a pastor in this position, but you must agree with this. But if you don't do it, we're bringing this gay guy from Houston who we will back, and he'll have this place here in Philadelphia. They got a gay guy from Houston to become that part of city council that would pass that bill to have trans taught to children in North Philadelphia schools over a pastor, because the pastor disagreed with it. Now, they would have rather for the pastor to agree with it, because that gives it more power to say that a pastor who believes in the Bible would even pass something like this. And by doing that, more people would agree with it. And Lewis Nash said, no, I can't do that. I can't in good conscience sign that. He was like, well, you know what? We can't put money behind your campaign. And they went and got a gay guy from Houston, moved them into Philadelphia to take that spot. A gay black guy. Look at that. Because they understand what all of this is. That's in the communities pushing the politics. This is a dark war against the children of Judah. And a lot of our people are just ignorant to what this is. Good point, Elder Lawyer. All right, let's now go into it. Because right after the child sacrifice comes something else. Read the 22nd verse.
Yes, sir. Verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination.
A man, according to the Bible, is not supposed to sleep with another man like God intended for man to deal with women in marriage. Folks, this is outright homosexuality right here. All of this is tied into the sacrifice of Satan, opening up dark doors for demonic possession, for power that comes only from the dark side. So this is not nothing about loving who you want to love and all of this. They're not telling you the spiritual component, the dark spirit component attached to all of this. What do you open up to yourself spiritually? And then it goes back to when you look at Sean Combs' situation. Okay? All of this was him dealing in the dark arts amongst the satanic elite. There's questions out there with Clive Davis, allegedly, and other people. Now, Clive Davis not too long ago came out and said he realized that he was bisexual. You can find that online. But what we don't see is the ritualistic side of it and how they feel that dark energy benefits them. It empowers these people as overlords. They become overlords over the ignorant. See? They become powerful over those they're seeking to control. And many people will sell their soul and all of that for that temporal power. But guess what? That power comes with what? An agreement to compromise yourself sexually. All of this is written of in Leviticus 18. Thou shalt not lie with mankind, Elder Lawyer. Read it.
As with womankind, it is abomination.
It is an abomination to God. What we're showing you, folks, is what was pushed right from the White House, lighting the White House up in flag colors. And I tell people all the time that you don't know the symbolism that comes with these flags. They're actually flying in the United States and abroad. Flags in war always implement, if someone can stake a flag in a country, that's actually making a proclamation that you've conquered that particular territory. So if you see a flag flying in any area where the United States flag used to actually wave, the United States flag represented them conquering the North American Indians and taking this land. The LBGT flag, Q flag, represents that now Americans have been conquered by them. Flags are symbolic. Why do you think they had Kamala over there in Africa resisting her, with Kamala threatening to take away financial aid in Africa if they don't fly the flag? It's symbolic. It shows that the people have been conquered. I'm going to show you how crazy and how deceived and whacked out our people are. My people are. You will have the whole block up in arms if a white man come from the southern Dixie state and put a Confederate flag and fly it on your block. You would lose your mind. But you allow their flags that's influencing your children to be flown. That's how backwards our people have become. You don't even understand what that symbolizes. That's a flag to the dark side and those who came into your neighborhoods from these witch covens, that this community is agreeable with us destroying their children and sacrificing them to our gods. That's what it symbolizes. I'm just giving you all some insight because our people have no idea. We just say let people can do what they want to do as long as it don't affect me and all these others. But yet, if someone came on the block with a Confederate flag, now you upset?
Right.
now, oh man, he racist. So the only thing that can get you up in arms for protecting your children is somebody who seemed racist. Man, you can't be Confederate flag. They'll be knocking on doors. The dope boys will come out and everything. Yo, dude, what are you doing? But then you'll get some witch somewhere from a witch coven that's dealing with all this dark magic, teaching your children the ABCs in your schools. Backward. Man, y'all doing a great job. Let me see what we have on the likes here real quick. Real quick. Okay, we have 25. Man, we're about 500 likes down. Hit the likes for me real quick, please. Right? Let's keep going, Elder Lawyer. All right, let's go now to, let's go back to 22.
Yes, sir. Leviticus 18, verse number 22.
Yes.
Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination.
Come on.
23. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion. Defile not yourselves in any of these things.
So defile not yourselves in any of these things. Everything I've just mentioned, folks, are rituals amongst Satanists. Okay? Think about this, folks. Hey, under the Satanist Bible, they made a manifesto. And don't you know, under their Bible, the Satanist Bible, it's telling you thou shalt do everything God said don't do in the same chapter. It's the flip reverse in the Satanist book, manifesto. So all of these rituals are directly to Satan. It's as if, and they did this, they opened up what God said don't do and wrote a satanic Bible promoting the very reverse. That's Barack Obama, folks. That's what he promoted. That's what he let loose. That's what he let loose. Finish reading, Elder.
Yes, sir. 24. Defile not ye yourselves in any of these things, for in all these things the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you.
This is why the Most High destroyed the Canaanites. Hence the reason why the door is open for the Most High to judge America now. I thank the Most High, viewing the sentiments of the outcome of this election. I thank the Most High that our people, that they're not talking about. This is what influenced this election. That our people, a large number, didn't vote at all. Now, the infighting between the Democrats and the Republicans, Bennett, we are not in it. We are not in that fight. But I'm going to tell you, the Democrats, they will do anything not to cede power. And this infighting is the end of America. Many things they're going to try to do from now to January, before the inauguration. I'm going to tell you this right now. Keep your eye on this, because why? Folks, all of this is because our people are waking up. Let me make it clear. I don't make this clear for you, brothers and sisters, so y'all can see it from the perspective we're conveying it. So not to come up with your own perceptions of what we're talking about. We know the Democrats and the Republicans work together against us. We know that immigration was let in and that Republicans can actually benefit from it using the cheap labor and at the same time slighting us too. We know that. We understand this. Okay? We understand that both sides benefit from everything they're doing. But the whole thing is, when it comes to finances and the control of the treasury, that's where the battle is amongst them. Who's going to control the purse strings? And what particular type of nonprofit and or either organization will be phased out of the financial treasury from one administration to the next? So since there's only a certain amount of money to go around for these administrations, when Trump get in position, he's taking that funding and moving it somewhere else. Okay? No more LGBTQ finance stuff. Okay? Through these organizations who've taken a stronghold on our people. Now, you think they're going to just allow him to siphon money out of them like this? And then they say, well, hold up. He's talking about destroying the Department of Education. No, he's talking about giving our children vouchers to go to school where the rich kids can go to school too, to get a better education, and taking the funding out of these crazed schools, funding these satanic liberals that are trying to change our children. They call that destroying education. They don't care about that. They care about the money to their nonprofit organizations that's given them to destroy our people. Okay? Now, because of this, these Marxists that have been let into power, they're willing to topple the whole thing. They're willing to topple the whole thing. The stronghold they have in our neighborhoods, they're willing to topple the whole thing before ceding the finances that goes to their nonprofit organizations. Our impoverished state finances the white liberals. That's all they have, is their power over us. And without that, and without those organizations and money, they have nothing. Because white people in these suburbs aren't going to let them take their trash, teaching, and all that amongst their children. See that? They're not going to allow them to take the garbage teachers come to where we are.
Mm-hmm.
And they're being financed to keep us at bay. So these white liberals are saying, crime, well, what am I going to do? This is the life I had, was taking care of these underprivileged blacks. And we're saying, listen, get out of our face. We don't want you taking care of us. Don't try to align yourself with our people. You've been the destroyer of our people. You're the racist. And that's why they're going crazy, because now, why? Our people are backing up off of these white satanic liberals. We don't agree with you coming in promoting and teaching our young girls at an impressionable age it's okay to get rid of their children. We don't appreciate that. And our God is coming after you. Let's go back. Leviticus 18 and 26. Let's read it.
Yes, sir. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourneth among you.
Read.
For all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled.
The land is defiled. Everything God mentions in Leviticus 18, defiles a nation. It defiles a nation. They have aligned our people with a bunch of nut jobs who are against family, who who want the right to get rid of children, who empowers women over men, leaving our women unprotected. They're witches, they're warlocks, they're bloodletters. These are evil people that they've aligned our people with. And guess what? The Christian black church have sold out to Moloch and Satan. Straight sellouts. And now that a lot of our people are waking up, Elder Lawyer, thank the Most High, because guess what? Before the black men begin to leave the Democrat Party, we in number left the black church without an announcement. See? The Most High woke us up and said, let's get out of this conclave of Moloch, this den of evil and wickedness and deception. Before the men began to leave this satanic Democrat Party, realizing that it was used to keep us enslaved, we left the Christian church because it's nothing more than a wing of the satanic Democrat Party. And because we left, and we're being empowered, we're being empowered by our God now. They say, okay, we don't care. They started letting in the Hindus. They started letting in the Muslims. Intentionally. As a form of spiritual warfare. To prove they never believed in this Bible of Christ in the first place. They intentionally, synagogue of Satan and all that, begin to go into other countries who they know are against those who believe in God, against the Bible, and gave them what? Full citizenship in the United States to oppose the people who believe in God. And I'm going to tell you, this is a direct result, a direct response to black men standing up and leaving the church. They can't control us through that anymore. So now they bringing in the outside strangers to come against our people in the neighborhoods. And that's why they're crying. White liberals are, oh my God, I'm crying. Then you see these white men, these white liberals talking about, yeah, hey, Trump is racist. And I'm looking at them like, listen, brother, I don't need you standing for me. I decide when racism is being exercised against me. Not you.
Mm-hmm.
These white liberals believe that we're their pets, that we need them standing and get the Hades out of our way. We can protect ourselves. We don't need your sympathy. We don't need nothing from you. They're telling us, hey man, Trump, man, he's racist. I'm like, man, get out of my face. I determine what racist is. Racist is people like you in the neighborhood teaching us to kill ourselves through abortion, which is against my God. Guess what? I would rather deal with the racist who's not hiding his racism than deal with you. Okay? Understand that. At least Moses understood where he totally understood where he stood with Pharaoh. He loved Pharaoh. Pharaoh loved him. See? But there was no misconception. Pharaoh was for his people. See? And that's what our people getting twisted. We befriend ourselves with these deceivers who claim to come in as if they're for our benefit. When even Malcolm X warned us about these white liberals. They get irate when they can't control how we think. That's when they start losing their minds. Because their position, they've been incentivized to control how we think. And they feel entitled with that. And we're telling them, get out of our face. White liberal women, you have no connection to us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You're not for our cause. You never was. Same with the white liberal men. The best thing you can do if you care about our people is get out of our way. That's what you can do. Get out of our way and align yourself with your people and stop grandizing yourself financially off of us with your fake nonprofits. Uh-huh. You heard what Moses said to Pharaoh, and you know what? They grew up together and all that. Like, nah, I tell you what. Let my people go so that we can go serve and sacrifice to our God. See? Do not try to convince us against our core moral beliefs by pushing all the things God said don't do on the impressionable. And I just see a lot of our sisters out there crying and all that about this. And you know what? They're just silly. These are just silly women who have no idea what they're up against with these liberals who have totally destroyed their minds against their own interests.
Mm-hmm.
These women are just silly. Okay? And there's nothing worse than an educated, silly person.
Right.
Right? Now, let's finish this out. Let's read 27, Elder Lawyer.
Yes, sir. 27.
Yeah.
For all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled.
The land is defiled. Read.
That the land spew you not out also when ye defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you.
So eventually you get spewed out. At one point, America was predominantly a Christian nation. Now, of course, the truth wasn't out concerning the seals being broken, understanding who we are and what the true gospel is, but still at the core, the majority of the people in America once believed altogether that Christ is and was and is Lord. At one point. See? So you have to think about this. Why would they incentivize bringing Hindus in by the millions? Muslims in by the millions? Those who believe in Christ within America have been conquered. Don't forget, even Barack Obama came in, and his true name was what? Barack Hussein Obama. He only had to cosplay as a Christian. Hey, I'll sing one of their Negro spirituals, and yeah. I have these Negroes eating out of my hand. Amazing grace. Amazing grace. I have these simple Negroes eating out of my hands if I just stand in their pulpit and sing one of their Negro spirituals because they're that naive. And he wasn't raised no Christian. He was the Trojan horse that brought in all of Satan's ideologies and normalized it to destroy the awakening, to destroy the people who believed in God, the children of Judah. 29, let's read it.
Yes, sir. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations,
Hold up. Hold up now. Because someone says, well, I thought his name was Barry Soetoro. Yes, it was. His original name was Barack Hussein Obama. But his mama, allegedly, with ties to the CIA, the white woman, allegedly, married an Asian guy by the name of Soetoro. See? And that's when his mother changed his name. Okay? He was really raised under Muslim values. And on top of that, Asian ideology while he was in Asia, Indonesia. He was raised under these alternative Eastern religions. And then, allegedly, was raised by Marxists. Okay? Had nothing to do with, he didn't grow up in North Philly, I'll tell you that. Right? And you know what? They knew, Elder Lawyer, they understood that it was the perfect time to introduce something like Barack Obama. It was the perfect time for him to strike.
Right.
For them to strike with him. And they like, you know what? This guy is going to totally destroy them. It was a perfect time coming off of wars, Middle East, George Bush, and all that came with him. Our people began to do what? Walk away from the political process altogether, and he sucked us right back in. Well-spoken, tall, articulate. They raised him for this moment. And we put all of our spirit behind this guy. And what did he do with all that energy? He lit up the White House in a rainbow. Let me tell you, he took all that praise and that admiration and that love. And our people, man, for a moment, felt some pride through symbolism. And let me tell you, and that's why I'm glad it happened like it just happened with Kamala. I'm going to tell you, because that lets us know our people aren't, well, the smart ones anyway, aren't falling for it. They would rather not vote at all. Good. You can't, and guess what? You can't scare us with the other side anymore. Oh, no, he going to do this, he going to do that. Nah, they can't do nothing our God allowed. Okay, the white man didn't put us in slavery. God did.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't scare us about going back into slavery. That was a curse that happened for our forefathers disobeying the God of Israel. It was God who put us in slavery. The white man don't have the power to do such. Okay? And he said, and when he did give us that curse in Deuteronomy 28, he says, thou shalt see it no more again. Which means when you go into this slavery of biblical proportion, that will be your last servitude on earth before freedom. He says, you're going into Egypt, which means bondage, by the means of ships, and thou shalt see it no more again. We're not going into slavery again. So you can't scare us with that crap. Oh, he going to put us back under Jim Crow and slavery. No, they can't. It isn't in the prophecy because the white man didn't enslave us. God did. He took our power and courage. And if God didn't take that away, no way the white man could have done anything to us. It tells you in Deuteronomy 28 that God took our courage. Okay? Let me tell you, folks, sometimes I travel into where I live and where I used to live in North Philadelphia and all that. I don't see no white guy walking down. I see white girls jogging and all that near Temple and all that when I used to go down there. But I don't see no white guy walking down the block that I used to live on without a concealed carry. Without either a concealed carry or a carry that can be seen. Okay? So ain't nobody taking nothing. You can't, you crazed liberals cannot come to our people and threaten us that Trump is going to put us into slavery. That's not in the prophecy. Now, the persecution that comes from all of them in the New World Order is real. And we're going to have to go through troubled times because they're going to seek to cut us off financially and have us starve out. That's their plan. They must weaken us before coming against us. But it's talking about all of the nations together, not just the white man. So you can't scare us into the white man's going to put us back in slavery. They know that's an impossibility. Okay? So no, we don't fear that. There's nothing that Trump or any other politician can do or institute in this earth that we haven't already experienced. Okay? So take your scare tactics somewhere else. You don't care about our people going back into slavery. Okay? You care that you cannot use us and abuse us under these liberal policies which gives you power. So no, I'm going to tell y'all, brothers and sisters, we have to stop going into this victim mentality and giving white people the credit for what God did. Okay? The white man didn't put nobody in slavery. He benefited from the curse. That's what he did. The curse is that we would lose our homeland and go into captivity. That was the curse. See? And he took our, and through that, it says he's going to take our courage. That means in areas we wouldn't normally fear, we would automatically become afraid as men. And to prove that happened, Elder Lloyd just came from Africa. Africa, Israelites are the majority in Africa. In number, there's no way with them being the majority should they have gotten colonized. Right? Because their numbers outnumber Esau. But guess what? The numbers mean nothing if your courage is taken away. See? If the Most High didn't take that courage from Judah in the spirit, there's no way the white man could colonize Africa because they're grossly outnumbered. All right. I'm going to tell y'all, folks, the greatest power Esau has as the minority is psychology. That's his power. His power to control your thinking, to have you fear something. And through that fear, it puts you under their power. Let's read this out.
Yes, sir. Verse number 29.
Verse number 29.
For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations,
For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations,
even the souls that commit them shall be cut off from among their people.
that soul shall be cut off from among thy people. Folks, I'm going to tell you, don't let them tell you on the news that there was some independent black guy by the name of P. Diddy with all this power to cause havoc. What they're hiding is the fact that he was a player within their satanic rituals. And in order for him to keep that power, he had to do everything God said don't do in Leviticus 18. That's what it means to sell your soul to the devil, to exercise your power with the dark side. And they try to downplay it by making it seem like a one-off. Oh yeah, he was in some freak-offs and all this other stuff. Let me tell you, the rituals you see that God say don't do in Leviticus 18 is what happened with P. Diddy. It's part of the religious cabal of Hollywood. And it's all encompassed within politics, entertainment, all of this. Don't let them try to claim to you, tell you that it was one black man with all this power to cause havoc without fear of repercussion. You can't do these things unless you're protected by the very top. And folks, I'm going to tell you this too. It's deeper than money too. Look how many times currencies have changed since the inception of what you would call paper money. See, that's another thing. They make you think, let me tell you, they can take a person right now and say, listen, because you're in this agreement, I'm going to put you in a magazine. I'm going to put a lot of zeros behind you, behind this number, and that's you now.
Mm-hmm.
They can do that like that. We just tell everybody you're a multi-billionaire. See? The world is your oyster. They can do that just like that. Not about the money, because they'll give you the numbers for your influence. Why? Because people are the real currency. See? So it's deeper than money. It's the control of people. Because people are the currency. An example. People talking about, yeah, I got gold, man. This is worth something. Yeah. But how are you going to get gold if man don't mine it? So who's really the currency?
Right.
See? It's all about money, man. People are money hungry and all that. You don't even realize the people who control things right now haven't seen a dollar bill in so long. You know how they purchase things? They make a phone call and it comes to their door. They'll go to a supermarket and guess what? There is no money. They'll wave their hand. So we have to get out of this mentality, man. People are doing this for money. Nah. It's about power. And from what source they're receiving it. And this is why the Bible give you Leviticus 18, because this gives you the doorway. The inverse of everything, the inverse of Leviticus 18 is the dark side. What God said don't do in Leviticus 18 is the way to go. Why? Because when you do any of these things, it opens the door to the dark side. A spirit of Nephilim from before the flood comes in. And this is why some of these witches have that Ouija board and all of that. Once they have done certain rituals, sexual rituals, that allow a spirit in. And once it's in, then they get that board and begin to communicate with that ancient spirit called Nephilim, a demon. And that Nephilim will give them insight, information, understanding. But as soon as those things are achieved and they actually get some wealth or something, guess what? That same spirit bring other spirits and say, well, okay, you made it through step one. Now, if you want to get this, I'm going to show you what's required. And that's where blood sacrifice comes in. That's where sacrificing people that they love comes in. And this spirit, the Nephilim, the giant Nephilim, that spirit is insatiable. So the more you get your wishes fulfilled, the more you come to the table for more. And then the spirit will say, go here because you can speak to this particular sage. It could be under any title, rabbi or whatever the case is. And he'll tell you the next stage if you want what's next. That's how it goes, folks. That's what they're not telling you. But none of this is, folks, none of what I'm saying is possible without the sexual rituals that defy the God of the Bible. You must do some or all of what's written against in Leviticus 18. That's how it happens. That's the deal. So when you think about Hollywood, the entertainment business, athletes, when you think about what some of these mega church pastors that come with the popularity that's behind them, they've opened the door to the dark side. Huh? See, but guess what? I want to say this. Brothers and sisters, is that they were able to get us involved by giving us a temporal prize in this world. Instead of us doing it and going the hard way or the patient way, Satan wanted to present a shortcut.
Right.
And that's where our people fall short. We're going to receive everything anyway. And guess what? Satan know it. He know what we desire for our families, and to have a place with peace, with no death, and to have a scenario where we can actually be happy without mourning, a place that has life everlasting. But brothers and sisters, you cannot get that without the patience that it takes to go through tribulation. So he'll come into our neighborhoods and he'll take the best and the brightest and offer them a shortcut. And guess what, folks? There is no shortcut. When you work from the bottom to achieve something, you realize there is no shortcuts. You got to go through all the dark moments and actually incrementally work your way up. And through righteousness, at the end of it, you're proud of the achievements because this world didn't give it to you. You have something that you know the world can't take away because through hard work and patience and perseverance, without selling your soul, what the Most High blessed you with was achieved. Huh? Elder Lawyer, real quick, let's go to 1 Corinthians 9. I don't want it to show you all this. Closing the door to the dark side. I want to go into this to let you all know and make it simple concerning what opens the door to Satan. And folks, I'm going to tell you this. Hey, I said it earlier. Everything I mentioned in Leviticus 18 is a Democrat party that they have intentionally attached to us. They want these crazy liberals to help us get dragged into hell with them. And our God says, no. If you're doing this, you're going to do it with both eyes open, understanding what's accepted by our God and what's forbidden. You're going to have to take accountability for your actions because now you've been told. Elder Lawyer, if you will.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to 1 Corinthians 9 and read 24 through 27, and then I'll open it up for a few questions.
Yes, sir. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse number 24.
Okay, let me get it here so they can have it. First Corinthians 9, verse 24. Let's read this.
Know ye not that they which run in a race run all?
Know ye not that which run in a race run all? And I wanted to utilize this because a race just happened for an election. Right? Now the Gentiles, their battle is to control the power that's given them through Satan on this realm, in this realm. See, but I watch these elections and politically because I want to see the sentiments of our people on whether or not they're still under Satan's control or have they awakened. Right? Know ye not that which run in a race run all? Read.
But one receiveth the prize.
But at the end, one receive the prize. And see, with Christ's prize that he's given, guess what? It's not instant gratification, instant glory, instant power, celebrity, idol. It's through a lot of perseverance and hard work and obedience that one actually gained the prize that no man can take away. See, when you deal with the dark side, at any time, because Satan have given it to you, it can be taken away. Like that. They can use their media machine and they can demonize you and they can take everything away like they're doing with Puff Daddy and everyone else because it was the devil who gave it to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to compromise themselves through these rituals that God forbids in order to receive their accolades, power, and notoriety before the world. You can say what you want about how great LeBron James is. Guess what? Great basketball player. Michael Jordan, great basketball player, a legend. But they would be what? Non-existent if somebody didn't give them the spotlight to shine in. Mm-hmm. and the arenas to play in. Understand that. It's the star makers that make stars on this earth. They could put the spotlight on anyone. They could put the spotlight on Dwayne Wade and say, okay, now, let's talk about your son. With all that power and glory and might, soaring through the air like Michael Jordan. At one time, Dwayne Wade was compared to him, Michael Jordan. Then the conversations be had. What's going on with the son? Magic Johnson, who was trying to shame us into voting for an East Indian who cared nothing about our people, who's married to, Amalek. They try to shame us, but they know how it goes over there in LA. Yeah, Magic, what about your son? You see? You can receive everything in this world, but you're going to have to give something up. Huh? For those who can read between the lines, I don't have to even go into it. Now, if you look at this lesson, this gives you the full insight to how they can get these celebrities and all that's out there to back their campaigns. You'll understand that these sexual perversions that are written of in Leviticus 18, the child sacrifice to Moloch, these are the doorways that's open to them that some of our people walk through to receive temporal glory. But not us. Not us. They can have their arenas. Guess what? They can't take nothing away that they didn't give us. See? So we have to run the race patiently. Know ye not that which run a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run, read.
That ye may obtain.
That we may obtain true glory. Not this temporal glory that goes away once Babylon no longer exists. No one is going to be talking about somebody skying through the air, slamming a basketball in the kingdom. Okay? No one is going to be talking about how great someone was here. The greatness comes when we stand before our king, and then he stands before us and gives us our glory, our crown, and say, faithful servant, you've done well. Enter into life eternal. That's the race we're running. Read.
25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things.
Is temperate in all things. Read.
Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible.
So what you see them do in the world is to compromise themselves morally. They do it for temporal glory. You think that all the things we read in Leviticus 18, do you think these people, these politicians, these actors, these so-called athletes, do you think they don't know it's wrong? But you would never see them speak up against sexual immorality. They know it's wrong, but you'll never hear them publicly speak up against it. And watch a person out there. Be careful of a person out there, brothers and sisters, when you talk to about any of these laws that we've been breaking, these sinful sexual perversions, where someone come to you and say, well, listen, live and let live. They can do what they want privately as long as it don't affect me. Be wary of people like that, because I'm going to tell you why. They're complicit. Nobody that's against sin could be in agreement with it. Because it ain't no live or let live. Because if you let that live and live as if it's normal, when you go to work, your child is exposed to it. That's a person who cared nothing about the future of it for his children. I therefore
so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air,
read,
but I keep my body, or I keep under my body, and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway.
There it is. Obedience to the Almighty. Closing the door to the dark side. Now, Elder Lawyer, what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to make an announcement. Then I'm going to open up Zoom for about 2 to 3 calls going into the academy. And I need you to make an announcement of, while I'm going here real quick, make an announcement to what people can look forward to as far as the academy in the Hebrew is concerned, if you will.
Yes, sir. So pretty much for this academy, we're continuing to build upon what we have developed in the past few academies as far as conversational Hebrew, really developing the ability and the skill of brothers and sisters to communicate on a daily, everyday basis using the ancient Hebrew language. Also, I want to mention that in this academy, one of the caveats we have is something that we introduced in the past academy, something called Academy Extra, where if there's any insight, any documentation, any information that we either were not able to cover in the live lesson or that we would like to add in addition to the information that we've presented in the live lessons that may not be in your documents, but it helps bolster and helps add to the understanding that you have received through some of the lessons that will be taught. We'll come on, we'll do a video, maybe anywhere between 15 minutes to a half hour, just presenting that information so that you can continue to build upon the understanding that you've received and will continue to receive throughout the Hebrew and Bible Academy. So those are some of the things you can expect from the Hebrew, but also caveats that are being presented in this academy in general. So again, please look forward to that. For those who are not yet in the academy, we're still accepting enrollments. Go to historytimes.org and you'll get all the information you need to be able to enroll.
Well, thank you, Elder Lawyer. And again, let me put it up here. Let me put it up here for those who missed it earlier that tomorrow does begin. Let me get it here. Tomorrow begins a new Hebrew and Bible Academy themed The Fall of the Last Empire. The Fall of the Last Empire is the theme. And what we'll be going into here, let me go over it real quick. It starts tomorrow. I'll be there early at 8:30. I'm going to set up early today to make sure everything is good. But 8:30 in the morning, I'm going to start off with the announcements. And then we're going to jump right in with Elder Lawyer at 9. We're going to talk about the election outcomes and what this means prophetically in this particular academy. The war in the Middle East that they're covering up. What part will Trump play in this war in the Middle East? Because regardless of either side, Israel and AIPAC and all that really control the levers of power in the United States at the end of the day. Hurricanes, earthquakes, and truck driver strikes, what that will mean when it comes to this temporal famine. We're going to also have a symposium. I'm going to talk about that. We're going to have a symposium for health. Dr. Goodman is on board. We have our brother Raphael, who used to once play for the NFL. He's on board to give us some tips for health. And also we're going to have a special guest, Demond Wilson, from Sanford and Son. He's going to come in and give us about 15 minutes of insight during this academy. It's going to be a groundbreaking academy with a prepping symposium. Okay? We're going to go into the path to the mark, the final path to the mark, what that means for us, the technology that they have in place already. The only thing they need is full complicity throughout the world's citizens to comply to the new currency that they will introduce. And that currency will be on the inside of people. All right? And they've already prepped people who have taken some of the Jim Jones juice. They've already prepped bodies to receive it. And we have the Daniel 7, the fall of America, the fall of the last empire. And then we're going to show you who's next once America is destroyed. Now, America have already been, believe it or not, America has already been divided into 3 separate parts, but they didn't tell the Americans yet. Hence the reason why they've allowed all these immigrants in, because a lot of these states have been already given to these foreign countries. But they're not telling you. So all in all, get ready. Get ready. A civil war is on the horizon. And when that happens, guess what? It's going to be a deep zone. But I thank the Almighty that we have a little time. Okay. We do have a little time before things really hit the fan. But all in all, we're keeping our eyes on the world prophecies and what's going on currently. So you stay linked in. Coming to this academy, we have Elder Shapat who's coming in with some news. I can't wait to see what he'll be presenting tomorrow when it comes to what's going on in the world. And hey, it's nothing like the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Go to historytimes.org to enroll. All right. So, Elder Lawyer, what I'm going to do real quick, if you would like, you can take a break real quick if you would like. I'm going to pull up Zoom, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's up to you. Let me get here.
Step away for a second.
All right. I'm good.
I'll be back.
I'm going to pull up Zoom. Yes. Get a few people in here before you can ask any questions you would like. And Sister Hannah from Ethiopia, who came in the other day. Hey, Sister Hannah, I'm glad you came in, and I noticed that you're seeking the gospel. The sister from Ethiopia. What I would like you to do, Hannah, is send me an email to gatheringasone1, the number 1 at AOL.com. Okay. It seems as if you had some insight of the rich history of Ethiopia that I wasn't able to go into with you because why? You called at the end of our Wednesday's broadcast. But I really wanted to talk about Ethiopia, the prophecies of Ethiopia, with you being from there. And I also would like to talk about how Ethiopians are perceived in the Middle East and or the land of Israel. All right. And I need your perspective with you being from Ethiopia. So send me an email, Sister Hannah, at gatheringasone, the number 1, at AOL.com, or call 215-253-4448. Leave a message stating that this is Hannah who spoke with you from Ethiopia. And I'm going to set up a broadcast to where we can discuss Ethiopia publicly, okay? All right, 1 second. Let me pull up Zoom. And again, you are all invited into our Hebrew and Bible Academy, Israelites and Gentiles alike. Let's do Zoom. Make sure if you come in with Zoom, make sure when you come in, brothers and sisters, that you prompt it to use the audio from your device while coming in. Okay? And when I ask you to unmute, just unmute the microphone, all right? All right. All right, let me give you the link. You all doing a great job. Thank you all. All right, in the chat is the link. All right, the chat. In the chat is the link. For those who like to come in and ask any questions, it could be pertaining to the academy, our lesson. Someone says, Vicky says, my phone is not allowing me to continue watching the lesson. That's unfortunate. All right. So there's the link for those who would like to come in. Don't forget, the Hebrew and Bible Academy starts tomorrow. We're taking enrollments now. So if it interests you, come on in while there's still an opportunity. historytimes.org. All right. View. All right. We have Candice Hen. Unmute your mic, Candice.
Can you hear me, Elder?
Yes, I can hear you.
Shabbat Shalom, Elder.
Hold on, let me get you through here. Hold on.
It's on your.
Hold on, 1 second.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hold on. All right, go on, sister.
Yes, I first of all, I just want to say Shabbat Shalom and a great lesson today, Elder.
Oh, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. All praises be to the Most High.
I didn't really have a question. I enrolled into the academy back in September, and I still haven't received an email for tomorrow. Yes.
Okay, well, do me a favor. Just call 215-253-4448.
Into the academy back in September. Okay, I'm so wait a minute. Let me write that down.
Let me ask you, did you receive a receipt from your academy enrollment?
It's been so long since I enrolled. I enrolled in September towards the end. I don't have a receipt, but I do have my bank statement where it shows where I paid for it.
All right, do me a favor. Send that to gatheringas1, the number 1 at AOL.com.
Okay.
With your name and details and your phone number, and I'll make sure you get what you need to get, all right?
Okay.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
But I do have my bank statement where it shows where I paid for it.
All right, do me yeah, she's gone now. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. All right, we have Georgia and Marie. Georgia and Marie Eubanks. Unmute your mic, Georgia. And by the way, I wanted to tell you all that this coming Wednesday, we're going to further the discussion we were having this coming Friday, that we had Friday through Patreon. Okay, we're going to further the discussion. I want to have brothers and sisters chime in because I'm going to use some of this content in our marriage lesson within the academy. All right. So if you can, I would appreciate it if you all can be here for the lesson that we'll have this coming Wednesday. What's behind the hatred and divide in Judah? Part 2. I have some videos I'm going to show during our Wednesday broadcast that we will use as talking points for our marriage discussion in the academy. Okay? Hey, Georgia, if you don't unmute, I have to go to the next person. I've asked you to unmute like 3-4 times.
Okay, yes.
Okay, how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, how can I help you? How are you? Shabbat Shalom.
I'm just searching for my group and allowing myself just to go nuts because, like, some of us, we know better, but we know better that we need to know better, if that makes any sense. And it's like, okay, guys, I'm just going to be here until you get me there because, like, I know where I need to get, but knowing how to get there is pretty difficult.
What are you speaking of in specific? What are you talking about in specific?
For instance, I'm searching for my group, and I don't want to throw too many groups out there like that. And so I went with one popular group because it has a physical address. And so I've attended it a couple of times and a couple of times on YouTube. And then I'm thinking, well, you know, I've attended with you guys, but then I come here to your physical address. And why is it that it's the same thing I'm watching on YouTube or any other space? Now, look, I've disguised myself for so many years, but you can't do that no more like this. And I've watched you guys. I went and got little electrical gadgets in the children's name, in the old man's name, in a friend's name. I didn't want to be caught on and this, that, because I kind of really know what's going on and what's coming.
Okay, hold up. Slow up. Slow up, sister. You're going so quick. I'm losing you here. Okay. Now.
Yeah.
All right.
I kind of speak in spaces.
Okay.
I really do.
Slow up, please. Just slow up. Let's dialogue, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, better if you ask me questions because I am dyslexic. And so we're kind of speaking like 5 different subjects and then it connects itself back to each other.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. You said you've been with another group and you wanted to come amongst us, but there's no address. What city and state, where do you live?
In Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay, now if you're in Texas, we have a church there.
I am so happy now. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Send us an email. Gathering as one, that's the number 1, at AOL.com.
Can you repeat that for me again, please?
Gathering, GATHERING,
Yes.
AS,
AS,
the number 1,
number 1,
at AOL.com.
at AOL. AOL?
Yes, at AOL.com. Send that, and we'll have the details. We'll have a bishop from Texas reach out to you for gathering. It's that simple.
Okay. Yes. Sounds good. Did you
Yeah.
necessarily need to know that group that I was speaking about?
Now, you said you went with a popular group and you went to see them. What group is this? Is that the
IUIC.
IUIC? Okay, you went to
Yeah.
Israelites United in Christ in the purple, right?
Yes.
And what happened?
I knew right off back that they were strong for me, and saying so, it's like I figure there's many places to the body of the Holy Christ. And so I think, okay, God, help me get this together. Like, they're so strong. That's beautiful, but I don't need to have so much strength. I just need to be a part of you like this. And so to say, if I need to be a part of you, I'm more nurturing, warm felt. I can speak to many dialects of people. I don't have a problem there. Right?
So when you say so strong, are you talking about from the military sense? You didn't feel, what are you speaking about?
Like, they're very powerful.
That's
like,
good.
That
being powerful,
me,
isn't that good if they're powerful?
Yeah, absolutely. But too much for me. Like, okay, you're not going to catch the best part of me when you're like screaming and screaming and screaming and screaming.
Oh, that's
you're
what you
only
mean.
going to wake up that nonsense.
Okay, now that's what you mean. Now I understand what you're talking about. Is the delivery is just too much? All
yeah.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sister, listen. We're not going to scream at you, right? We're going to teach you, and it's no slight on those brothers. They're doing the best they can to do their lot in this work. Okay. So the whole deal is we'll be here for you. We're going to reach out to you, and I believe that you'll be satisfied with the gathering. We have beautiful people within the work in Texas, and I'm sure we're inviting, and we deliver the word of Christ.
I've been watching you guys for years now.
Okay. Well, all praise.
Yes, for years now.
All right.
And Elder, let me tell you something. Seriously, because like it needs to be known, and by now I kind of like discouraged myself, but that was my aim. Like I have become suicidal, and I'm telling God, if you don't move me, if you don't use me, then I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna stop caring. Okay, and so I drift off, and I deliberately went and bought drugs, and I deliberately went and bought alcohol, and I'm like, God, please use me because I'm on my way out, and I need help. I'm screaming.
Okay. Well, let me give you this real quick, right?
Yes, sir.
I believe the Most High. As a matter of fact, I know He answers prayers.
Yes, sir.
All right. And I'll tell you this: the Most High haven't forgotten you, but keep in mind,
yes, sir,
He blessed you with a soul that's precious.
Yes, sir.
That precious. And I'll tell you this: if you don't appreciate it, so it depends.
No, I do, and thank you for the reminder.
No, let me tell you this: if you don't appreciate it by doing anything, like taking your own life or anything,
yes, sir.
That's something that you cannot take back, which means that particular action is automatically judged in hell. And
I'm not too, I probably don't understand quite much.
Okay, listen,
there.
I'm going to tell you this.
Yes.
Hell is a real place.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so now, let me make it clear to you.
Yes, sir.
In hell, there's anyone who've taken their own life in hell, when they're weighing the damnation and pain they're going through, what they were going through in earth that led them there, guess what? That was total peace and tranquility in comparison to the judgment in hell.
Yes, I know it's ongoing.
What I'm saying is what you're going through now will
Yes.
pale in comparison to what will happen if you decide to take things into your own hands. Because you can't, one thing you can do, you can straighten yourself out on this side. but not on the other side.
Okay, yes, I get it. Yes.
You get it?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm going to tell you is look at our lessons from last week and count your blessings. Things aren't
Yes, I've been walking,
things
y'all.
listen, things aren't as bad as you think they are. That's number 1. And number 2, sister, you can't be masking your issues through substance. You have to face your issues that's causing these thoughts.
Yes, and it goes deeper than that, you know. It really does. The household thing, the kids, the husband, the biracial, the differences, and kind of like I've just stubbed my toe again with IUIC. Knock it off.
Sister, you're overthinking things, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I
listen to me.
That's part of dyslexia.
Okay, well,
yes,
listen. You've allowed these other people on the outside to traumatize you. It's like this. IUIC and no one else have the power to tell you what to do with your family.
Yeah.
And to make you feel bad about a relationship that they had nothing to do with. That's none of their business who you're married to.
I've kind of been taught that too.
Yeah, I'm just, but sister, listen.
Yes, sir.
Follow Christ. Once you give your life over to Christ and be baptized,
yes,
and are cleansed from all these negatives, including the thoughts of how others may perceive you, then you will realize that Christ have cleansed me. I don't owe anybody nothing.
Oh my God, you're resonating. Yes.
You understand?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
So
yes.
let me tell you, the only level of expectations to fulfill is the expectations Christ expects in you.
Oh my God, you're hitting home. Yes, yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So
yes.
Send us an email. Understand that your life is precious. And always look on the bright side. The Most High have given you life. And guess what? That's in of itself is a beautiful gift. Don't take that for granted, sister, all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We'll see you in church.
Yes, sir.
All right, blessings.
Blessings.
All right. And please let yourself out, Georgia, okay?
Yes, yes.
All right.
If I'm gonna have, I'll go to June.
Don't worry about it. I'll let you out. Don't worry about it, okay?
Okay. Yeah, okay.
If I can. I'll just mute you. Don't worry about it. Just
You're all right. I'll figure it.
I'll just mute you. All right. You'll find your way out. I'm sure you will. I've spoken to it. Okay. Okay, we have Jewel Brown. How you doing, Jewel?
You're all right. I'll figure it.
Jewel.
Okay, yes, go.
Jewel. Okay, I have to put you back in. Kawana. Kawana. Okay. Kawana. Say something here, Kawana. All right. I'm going to try one more. If it doesn't work, I'll see you all tomorrow. B. Unmute B. Unmute, B.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, your name?
This is Barzal out of KC.
Kansas City. Talk to me, my brother.
Yes, sir. I had a couple of verses dealing with, women that are widows, and I was wanting some understanding.
Okay, you said you have a couple of scriptures on. Okay, you can't have me playing in the background at the same time.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yes. Sorry about that. 1 second. Okay. I understand the verses about. I was wanting some clarity about some verses about widows.
Okay, let's get the verses.
Yes, sir. I have two of them. The first one is in Romans 7, verse 2.
1 second.
Yes, sir.
Romans 7, verse 2. It says, let's start at the first verse. You know not,
Yes, sir.
brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law have dominion over a man as long as he liveth. For the woman which have a husband is bound by the law to her. For the woman which have a husband is bound by the law of her husband so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband. That's crystal clear.
Yes, sir. Okay, I was wondering about that, and could you explain the First Timothy? Could you please explain?
Before we go to First Timothy, let's make an understanding that if wife loses her husband as a widow, right? Then she's loose to remarry.
Okay.
That's what the scripture is saying.
Yes, I agree with that. I was just trying to, so with me reading that, could you please explain to me the First Timothy chapter 5?
First Timothy 5.
Yes, sir. I'm looking at verse 9.
Okay, verse 9. Okay. Verse 9 says, let not a widow be taken into the number under 80 years old, having been the wife of one man. What questions did you have about that?
Does that mean she's not allowed to marry it until she's after 60?
Oh, no, this is not married at all. This is a position in the church. She becomes the elder woman to guide the younger women. She must be within 80. So once she's near 60, within that 80, she can be placed as a counselor over younger women in the church. It's called the elder widow.
Yes, sir. Perfect. Could you please read verse 16, please?
Okay, so you know this is not talking about a date in which she can actually go marry another man.
Yeah, now I know. Thank you.
Okay. All right, what's next?
Verse 16. Verse 16, please.
16. If any man or woman that believeth have widows, let them relieve them, and let not the church be charged, that it may relieve them that are widows indeed. That means charitable work, looking out for them, and just looking out for them because they don't have anyone. Like we have officers that go to the widow's house if they need someone to take them someplace, or they need some supplements or help under certain circumstances. The church is here for them.
Gotcha. Thank you so much. I saw that, and I know it wasn't contrasting, but I needed that clarity. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, my brother. Bless you.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Can you let yourself out, B?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Patar.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, my brother. Bless you.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Patar, please cut me off in the background, please.
Yes, hello?
How you doing, Patar?
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, sir.
For sure. I wanted to elaborate on Leviticus 18 when it comes to incest.
Yeah.
So there's this YouTuber that interviewed this they basically siblings, and but they didn't know. So they found out that they were siblings after the fact of them having relations with each other. And her name is Azariah, ironically, a Hebrew name, and his name is Joshua. So they siblings, right? Half siblings. And she was pregnant, and they decided to have the kid anyway. So I don't know if you heard about this story, but it kind of went viral.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so what's that situation? How would you I mean, how is that justified?
It's not justified. It happened.
Mm-hmm.
She's no longer dealing with this person, right?
Nah, they're not.
Yeah. So she repented. She had no idea. So the only thing that can happen is a child be raised to follow the laws of God. But you can't change something that have already happened.
Mm-hmm. True.
So if the question you're asking is whether or not this child is damned based on the mistakes of his or her parents, the answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
See, and this is why Christ, through grace, have given opportunity, right? So here it is. This child can be once baptized and be cleansed and become what? Born again. So it doesn't matter what happened to that. If that child leads a life of righteousness, that child is to be accepted. It's not that child's fault that the father and mother didn't know each other and ran into each other and did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, in ancient times, that's why names, when it comes to genealogy, is so important. That's why banners was so important in Israel. So there will be no mix-ups like that. Keeping the integrity of your name, you can avoid all of that because your relationships are intentional.
Mm-hmm.
See, you will know if somebody else was you would know someone was your sister or whatever the case is, because that falls under your banner. So that's the confusion of Babylon, right? And that's the importance of us keeping legacy and family together so that we can be what? Intentional when we are bringing relationships together.
Mm-hmm.
This thing of just dealing with people without knowing father and mother is backward. It's dysfunctional. To getting with somebody just because they look good without asking questions and getting background is why we fall to such perils as this destruction that leads to, really bastardized situations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but still, it's not the child's fault. Okay?
Con.
My brother. That's it?
That's it. Shalom, Elder. Thanks for the
Shalom.
understanding and the breakdown.
Okay, you're welcome. Let yourself out, please.
All right, shalom.
All right, that concludes our broadcast for today. And may the Lord be with you. Be blessed. We thank the Most High for this opportunity to have come before you this Sabbath. And we'll see you tomorrow in the Hebrew and Bible Academy. Shabbat Shalom, and have a blessed Sabbath.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, Zakara.
Shalom.
HistoryTimes.org. Hebrew and Bible Academy. It's on. It's going to be nice. Shalom.
I opened up the book and see that the apple of your eye included me. And through the tribulation, I know I must stand for a new heaven